Good morning. I hope the team at Trust Finance can hear me. You're welcome for this morning training. We hope the UWIL ladies are in, they are logged in, the UWIL members. And with us here at the Secretariat, we have some members present. As the program states, we will need to have a volunteer to pray for us. I hope ADC, you can do this for us, and then we can start the meeting.
Good morning, everyone. Let's humble ourselves for a short prayer. My name is Joseph Atwasise. I will lead you through a short prayer. Humble yourselves. Let's start right now. Heavenly Father, let's start right now. Thank you for our life, thank you for our family, thank you for our jobs, thank you for our businesses, wherever we are. We know we are for you. We know you to lead us this training, give us the right decisions to move forward, and pray for our customers to have the right cash flows, the right business in everything we do. Pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you for the opening prayer. We would have remarks from the CEO, but she's not yet in. She's going to join us in the meantime. But without delay, since we have lost some few minutes, I think we should just dive right in.
Joseph, we are waiting on you.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. I hope we are starting off with the first presentation from Joseph. My name is Joseph Atwasise. I'm the credit manager, SME. My area of focus will be on business financial management. I'll take you straight to the first slide. Business management is all about managing coordinating, organizing of the business activities. Financial management, it refers to the strategic planning, organizing, directing, controlling financial understandings in the organization. Because we are going to the third slide. Why is business financial management important to every business? Pardon? No, that's fine. Why is business financial management important to all businesses we're doing? It helps businesses in financial planning. What is financial planning under this circumstance? Financial planning is how you set priorities into your business. You might set priorities, what to begin with and what to end with. It also assists business in planning and acquisition of funds. Financial management, it helps the business in planning and acquisition of funds. Why do I repeat this statement? Acquisition of funds, it can be through borrowing, can be through your own savings, can be through floating shares, can be through inviting investors into your business. So it helps in planning and acquisition of funds. It helps organization in effectively utilizing and allocating the funds received or acquired. Here, you have the funds, but you may not have the right decision on where to invest it. So with the financial management, it helps you to know where to allocate the funds for a better return. It also assists organization in making critical financial decisions. The critical financial decisions here, we mean like how the decision, there may be so many decisions to make. There may be so many decisions to pick from, but with financial management, it helps you, it helps your business in making critical financial decisions in order for the business to grow. It also helps in improving the profitability of the organization. When your business is well managed, profitability is inevitable. It is something that you must achieve. If you have your business is well managed, is well planned, profitability is achievable. It is unlike the businesses which are not organized and they end up making losses. But once your business is properly coordinated, profitability is achievable. Increases the overall value of the farm organization. What do we mean? The value of the organization is the position, your financial position, your stake in a farm. The farm might be having 10 million, but because of good financial management, this farm increases, this organization increases, and the value goes to 30 million or blah, blah, blah. Unlike the businesses that have poor financial management. I'm going to fourth slide, areas of focus. Area of focus for proper financial management. In the business you're doing, which areas do you really look at? These are key and critical areas for every business to focus on. Proper record keeping. Why do we need records? Why do we need proper record keeping? Proper record keeping will help you track your inflows and your outflows. What has come in and what is going out. If you have a good record keeping system in place, then you can easily track your business, whether it is making a profit or whether it is making a loss. In here, you can have the sales book records, you can have the journals, you can have receipt books, invoices. Every record is well kept, and this helps you to track. Another thing is monitoring daily inflows through sales book. This one, we've talked about the sales book. The sales book is where you write, I have sold 15 kilograms of sugar, 5 kilograms of rice, this, and then how much has been my profit. Your profit is a margin, like if I bought a kilo of sugar from Chikubo, or a bag of sugar of 100 kgs, assuming I bought it at 350,000, I have sold the same bag of sugar at 450. So meaning you're able to make a margin of 10 of 100,000. So meaning it helps you to track your inflows. It helps you to track your outflows if you have kept good records. Having credit discipline. A credit discipline here, it means that if you have received goods on credit from the supplier, assuming Riham has supplied you 15 cartons of soda, and the following day, before they supply you another 15 cartons, you've paid them what they supplied yesterday. This is what they call credit discipline. To know that what you've got on credit has been paid back, as per the agreed terms. Not the instance of like a supplier has given you 15 cartons. The following day he comes to pick his money. You've sold the cartons and you've diverted money for a wedding, or you've diverted money to do your other personal benefits. So you need to have a discipline in credit. What you borrow must be paid back as per the agreed terms. Separating family issues from business. This is a very important area that is missing out in most SMEs in the country. SMEs, they don't separate what belongs to the family and what belongs to the business. In most cases, you find someone with a shop, but they are spending rice, posho, sugar for their family benefits without accounting for these things. That's not the right business practice. The right business practice is have the family budget run on its own, separate from the business budget. Because if you mix family and the business, then the end is near. You need to separate the two, have the family expenses catered for outside the business expenses. Yes, and another issue is having a business account and ensure all sales are banked before purchases. Here, what we mean here is you have sold 5 jerrycans of cooking oil. Before you pay the supplier, ensure this money hits on your account at Finance Trust Bank or whichever bank you're with. You know, when you bank the money, you can easily track the sales. You can easily understand when you get your statement at the end of the week, you reconcile yourself. You get your statement, you get your sales book, and then you compare. On Monday, I sold 1 million. Tuesday, 600,000. Is this money going to the bank? And then after banking your money, then you plan to pay the supplier. In most cases, it would be actually better to pay the supplier using the bank. You can use the bank to pay the supplier. How? You can send the supplier an RTGS or an EFT, or you can give the supplier a check. Not this business of withdrawing 10 million to pay the supplier. Before you reach home, before you reach the supplier's store, you've already spent 500,000. That practice is not good. What you do, you can pay directly from the bank to the supplier's account. Assuming the supplier has an account in a different bank, you can send an RTGS. An RTGS, to take you back, those who don't know what it means, it is a real-time gross settlement where you send money from the bank A to bank B. Within the next 30 minutes, the money is received. Then there is an EFT. You can also debit your account using an EFT method to the customer's account in another bank. An EFT is electronic funds transfer. This takes a little bit of time, hours. It takes maximum of 24 hours, but it's also effective. So before you spend what you have sold from the shop, ensure that money hits on the account and business continues. Another issue is timely tracking, timely stocking, depending on the season. What do we mean by timely stocking? Right now, we are going for Christmas. I don't think it is a good idea someone to stock stationery. If you have 30 million in your working capital, this is Christmas season. Look at what is most bought during Christmas. What is needed right now might be foodstuffs, nice dresses, designer shoes, fumes, cosmetics. But if you're looking now at stocking a 4-quire stationery book, or you stocking reams of papers, and in this season, I don't think that is the best financial practice. At this moment, we can utilize focus on what is on demand in the season as you enter in the season. So primary stocking is very crucial in financial management. Then there is another point you need also to look at is identifying cheap sources of funds. Cheap sources of funds here, it means that many businesses are running out in banks to borrow at high rates. You will find a customer is running from his bank, which is giving him at 23%. And then he will go to a money lender who is going to tell him, we are going to lend you at 8%. But the 8% is monthly, and then the 23 is per annum. The 8% is flat, and the 23 is on reducing balance. So if you are in a rush to acquire funds, you've not looked at the cost of borrowing, you've not understood the rationale for borrowing, you will end up into a trap of a money lender, because for them, they position their interest rates to be as low as anything. They will tell you 3%. And then you say the bank is giving me 23, the money lender is giving me a 3%. That is not the right practice. Ask the customer, ask the lender, at what rate are you giving me? Calculate for me. You may not be conversant with the interest. Ask the person, if you give me 10 million, how much will I be paying per month? He will amortize for you. And then you ask the bank, if I need 10 million at this 23, how much will I be paying per month? You will be shocked to find out that the lender is at a higher rate, and you've already made a decision. So identifying cheap sources of funds will help your business to grow. Where you're paying an extra 2 million in interest, the other person is saving the 2 million into his business. And the sources of funds does not necessarily mean going for borrowing. You can get the funds through your own contribution. Assuming you have the business, you're 5 people in the business, you can sit together and say, okay, let's pool funds to capitalize our business. You say, Mr. X, you are going to give us 600. Y, give us this. Mr. So-and-so, give us this, this, and this. So when you sum up, you have the money, put it in business at no interest, and the business will grow. Another way you can also identify cheap sources of funds, you might be having idle assets in your business. Assuming you have a plot of land which is not utilized. It has been there for the last 6 years or 5 years. You can dispose it off and you capitalize the business. It is an ideal situation where you'll not be paying interest, where you capitalize the business and you will get returns in a short time. And then when you make more money, you can buy that property and put it back. Then there is another area you need to focus on is consciousness in asset investments. In business money, you will see the money being like, assuming you have working capital of 100 million, but this 100 million is strictly for working capital. If you pull 100 million and you go and buy a property, you've pulled 40 million, you go and buy a luxurious car out of the 100 million. It means you have killed your business. You've bought land, the land is going to be there, and you're not gaining from it. And then you have 100 million, you say, okay, let me put 40 million, I start on building the house. You put up the house, you reach at a level, and the money is not coming out. You've buried the money into an investment. So in businesses in the business we are doing, we need to be very conscious when we are making an asset investment. Things to look out for businesses. Things to look out for in business at all the time. Why did I bring this? This is a very wide area. As someone in business, there are things you need to always look at. In other papers, journalists will call it keep your ear on ground. You as an entrepreneur, you as an SME customer, you as a manufacturer, you as a transporter, what are the things you need always to be vigilant of? One, changes in tastes, preferences, and designs. This is a very important area in such a way that people's tastes change from time to time. Designs change. If you've ordered for dresses in China, the dresses you've ordered for a container of the dress design has already gone off the show. It's not. It's no longer on design. It's no longer design people will run for. You've ordered for Nigina, the old design of a Nigina, and people have already shifted from this Nigina to another Nigina. You have ordered for a smartphone, Samsung 15, blah, blah. And people have already moved from 15 to 18 or to 20. So meaning you're going to bring this container and you're going to sell at a loss, or you will not sell it. You end up having dead stock in your business. There is nothing that hurts an entrepreneur like having dead stock. Dead stock means that you have half of the shelves having dresses, having the shoes, shirts that are not moving. You have kept them in your shelves. Every day you dust, you clean the stocks, but the stock is not moving. And these stocks are sitting on money, assuming you've also borrowed. These stocks you've borrowed from Finance Trust Bank to buy the shirts and blouses. And they're in the stock for over 10 years, 10 months, 6 months. You know, the bank is charging interest and you have to pay them. You have to pay the interest and the stock is not moving. So this is an area you people we need to look at. Whenever you to add stock, you need to understand people's tastes, your customers' tastes, your preferences, and the designs. Another area is changes in government policies. Here I will give an example of the changes in transport that happened over last 2 years. The tonnage on the road was reduced. A single truck could carry, assuming let's say 75 to these tons. And now the changes government entered into it and said the tonnage has to reduce. So if you are not following up on the government policies, you'll end up making a miscalculation into the business investment. So you need all the time look out for the changes in government policies, when it goes to importation, when it goes to the types of business, when it goes to a specific industry, and then that will help you survive. Changes in taxation. Taxation, you need to be all the time understand how much does tax take all this time, how much is needed to import this and this. Not this business of entering a business to import clothes. You don't understand the governing policies on taxation. You need to all the time look out for these things. If you miss out, then you end up making a loss in your business. Changes in prices. Before you stock an item, get to understand how much does this item go to and how much will be my margin. If I stock 15 cartons of this, how much margin will I make? If I stock this, it is an alternative product. Will I make more sales on it? Will I make more margins on it? So you need to always look at the prices, changes in prices. If the prices have gone high, then you also sell at what you bought from. But you know, there are people who the prices will reduce and they will keep on selling at a high price, or vice versa. If you sell at a high price, it means your customers will run away from you. If you sell at a low price and you're making a margin, it means you still have your customers. Other factors, you need also to look out for other factors like wars, droughts, locusts, neighboring conflicts. These play a very big role in determining your business growth. If there are so many wars in the neighborhood country, it means, assuming there are wars in Congo and your customers are coming from Congo, so you don't need to stock a lot of things when your customers are from Congo. If the Congo market is down, source for a different source, let's say Sudan. If the Sudan market is down, source for a different market source. Also in this area, why you need to look at the other factors, let's say the neighboring countries. There are areas where you find, there's time when you find countries like Tanzania have produced a lot of maize. And here you are stocking a lot of maize. So meaning if your customers were coming from Tanzania, they are not going to come to you this time, they are going to buy from Tanzania. So you need to look at the regional factors that are, let's say, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda. What items can I sell to them to move forward? Changes in international markets. International markets changes, the regulations changes, and so you need to look out for them. Stock aging analysis and avoiding dead stock. This one, I talked about it. The dead stock is the stock that has stayed in your shop for over 90 days, depending on what you're dealing in. There are stocks which are not moving. So do not put a lot of money in such stocks. Such stocks can, they can sit on your money and you end up making a loss. Thank you so much. I will entertain questions and any other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph, for the presentation. I think for women who are especially in business, you have followed very well and you're on course. We have a group of women who are at Lugogo in the UWIL building. Kindly be a part of the webinar. We would like to know who is in the room, who is present in the webinar. Kindly share your emails, kindly share your telephone numbers. You can also share your question right into the chat room. You can chat. And for those who can unmute and air their question, now is the time. There's an icon where you can put up your hand and then unmute and give us your question. Joseph is available for the next 3 to 5 minutes before we get on to the next presentation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. My name is Maggie Lukowe. I work with Finance Trust Bank, and we are busy behind the scenes trying to make sure everything is okay. We had people who were complaining about the volume. I hope the volume is all set right now. You can hear everything and you have followed. We'll be sharing the presentations that we've made. That is why we're asking for your emails and probably your phone numbers so we can get in touch and share this information for the record. For now, let's get into the Q&A. If you have any question, kindly put up your hand, unmute, and be audible so we can get the question first time. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. At the Secretariat, we have no questions so far. Maybe if we can listen to the next presenter. Oh, sorry, I'm advised Percy, Head of Business, is supposed to address us. So we could listen to Percy now.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I just want you to give me just 1 minute, and I'll be with you exactly 60 seconds. Thank you very much.
Okay, so while we wait for Percy, does anybody have a question about how to maintain a good financial discipline in businesses? Maybe Joseph, you could maybe relate the presentation to how you use this financial information while assessing somebody for credit, and why it is critical that the records are actually well done. If you could help us to get that linkage between good financial management skills and credit business in the bank.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Banks really love to work with a client that has good record keeping. Banks use the bank statements when they are making your analysis to give you finances. We normally look at your turnovers. Customers who don't turnovers are not considered to be in business. If you have good turnovers and the turnovers are speaking through your financials, there's no reason a bank can deny you money. Even if the security is not strong, you've already got a big credit. So you need to have the records in place. Most records help in understanding the financial performance. Let's say for 5 years, you can compare your performance in 2010, 12, 13, 14, 15 plus. From here, you can understand whether your business is making a profit or it's making a loss. So the records are very important, and I really encourage you to keep track of whatever record you have at your business. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph, for filling in when I asked for a minute. Good morning, everyone. You will. I will refer to the entire gathering here as you will. I know you have enjoyed Joseph so much. I would like Joseph to stay around for the entire workshop because Joseph is an expert in SME, especially SME credit. And I want to really ask our customers today to utilize this chance to ask as many questions that you may think are trivial, but are extremely important for business. Joseph, every single month, looks at hundreds of files of SME. And he looks at a lot of these things, a lot of books being kept, financial projections and other things that are extremely important for you to understand. So there should not be any question that is bad. Please ask these questions so that we can be able to impact you. My name is Pasi Rubega. I'm the head of business, Finance Trust Bank. I've been into banking for over 18 years, into business development, marketing, communication, PR, the spectrum of all those things combined, and branding. And I'm happy that we have a partnership with UWIL, and I thank the management of UWIL for really having given us this opportunity to speak to ladies or business people on the other side to be able to share our experiences. Today, when I was thinking about what to say, I know so many people are going to talk about a lot of things today. Joseph has been sharing his experiences, and you heard him talk about a lot of things. And I asked myself, what should I tell these people that are listening to us that is not really very technical, but something they will not forget and they will remember? And I chose to tell you about 3 things, if I may tell you things. One, I'll tell you about Finance Trust Bank. This bank is one of the very successful businesses that we have in this country that was started by women entrepreneurs. And these women entrepreneurs actually did not really start this for purposes of making so much money, but they started this business to help low-income women access credit. Because at that time, all the people that started this bank were really in big positions. Some of them were actually judges, others were big corporate ladies, very successful. And somehow they decided to say, like, how can we help women in our villages and other people access credit? So Uganda Women Finance Trust, then that Uganda Women turned into Uganda Women Finance, Uganda Women's Finance, and etc. to Finance Trust Bank today emerged. One of the banks that has been successful for quite some time into this market. And it was as a result of people being foresighted and having a passion to serve the people that were underprivileged. So if you ask myself, the core purpose for this business was to help low-income people enrich themselves. And in business planning, they'll tell you one of the very important successful things is that should never change is the purpose for which you're starting a business. And sometimes it is the reason why a business collapses. If the purpose for starting a business is for you to buy a little car, you possibly achieve that objective much faster in 1-2 years, and you will not have any other purpose other than that. It will then be extremely hard for you to look so far in life, so much into the future. If your purpose was too small, you can easily achieve it. So we need to always have a purpose in business, just like the founders of Finance Trust Bank had a purpose to help the low-income people. When you ask some of them that are still surviving today, they will tell you that their purpose hasn't been achieved because there's still a lot of poor people in this country, and so they can keep doing this kind of business. Okay. Then after that, of course, I'll tell you, for us, our purpose still is to help people, help little businesses thrive. We are proud right now in the 36 plus years that we have been in business. Every single time we see a woman that has been with us for 30 years or 20 years that started borrowing 500,000 shillings, and today they come to us with the capacity to borrow 500 million shillings. From 500,000 to a capacity to borrow 500 million shillings. To us, we describe success in that way. Over time, a customer that was poor is financially enriched to such a capacity. And that is why we're saying that sharing these experiences to us is an extremely important opportunity, especially to a forum of people that are doing business. So we invite you to interact with us. And for us, we're looking for a long-term relationship with you, with all business people. And you will, as a partner, we're looking at them in partnering with us to share as many of such experiences as possible. So we're ready for you as Finance Trust Bank. I think we are receiving some interruptions from someone. Can we listen to each other? Madam Grace Wanji, I think I don't know whether you're let's try to be in the class. So that's one of the first things I said I wanted to talk about. I want to summarize for you my contribution to this workshop in just 3 things that were taught to me by one of the best business people that I know around Kampala. And I won't tell you his name, but he shared with me 3 things of a very successful business person. And if I can share with you these things, and you write down these things on a little piece of paper as I explain them, then I think I would have done my part today. So when I spoke to this very successful gentleman, and I asked him, what are those things that are extremely important for any business anywhere in the country? He said, okay, I'll tell you the 3 things that I've used ever since. The first one, which is the most funny one. I hope you write it down. He told me the first one is have money all the time. And I asked him, but you can't have money all the time. He said, yes, you must have money all the time. And he told me a story of a certain man in the village that wanted to sell his small bike, a little bike. And the first thing that came to his mind, he said, I need to sell this bike to someone. Naturally, if you're in a village, the first thing you think of, who can buy my bike? What informs your decision on where to take your bike is the perception of that person who is going to buy your bike, who must have money. Now, that person may not really have the money, but he needs to have a perception that he actually has money. People need to think you have money, even if you don't have it. So when I looked at this gentleman, I said, so it is important to look like you have money, even when you don't have it. He said, yes. Because if you look like you don't have money, people will never even bring to you opportunities that you can use to make money. So you must brand yourself as a person who has money. Don't look broke. If you don't have cash, at least have someone who can trust you to give you the money. And in this case, Even if you don't have actual cash, you need to partner with Finance Trust Bank to make sure that when you need money, we can give it to you. So when someone walks to you and is selling a piece of land, he needs to be able to say he's going to this person, he's going to Percy or Joseph or anyone on this forum or Grace, because they think you have money. And then you can tell them, okay, you're selling it how much? 5 million. I can only get you 2. Because he knows you're the one that has money, you can quickly run to us and get the money you need and you purchase whatever you want. It is so he went ahead to tell me it is so bad to be perceived that you do not have money, because opportunities will go to those that have money, those that can borrow. He told me a story of real estate, that most of these people that are into real estate businesses don't actually have real cash, but they know that they have a good name in a bank. You'd heard about the story of Hamis Chegud. He's a billionaire and a trillionaire in Uganda and all over the country, maybe in East Africa. It's until today that we know that he's been borrowing from all banks all over the region. To us, we know he has money, regardless of where he gets it from. So if he gets Nachivowo, he wants to remodel it, he goes to DTB Uganda, DTB Kenya, I don't know where else he goes. But the issue is they give him money because they think he has money he can pay back. So it is important as a business person to always, one, have money all the time, not in actual cash, but you must be able to even have people that can give you money because they trust you. That is the first lesson this man told me, and it was extremely important. He even went ahead to tell me that if you seem like you have money, you can even go and get things for free because people know you will pay back. You can get supplier credit because they know that man is trustworthy. That man has money. He possibly doesn't even have it here, but he will not fail to pay. And I think even when Joseph Atubasise, who has been talking to you, looks at your financial projections and your bank statements and etc., he's looking at your capacity to pay. If he thinks you are not so good at having money, or you can't have money in your business, he will be skeptical lending to you. But if you convince him you pay back, he will lend to you. So that was the first lesson a person told me. You can go and look at all other examples you have in your heads as I'm talking. So I told him, okay, fine. So he told me, that's number one, have money all the time. Said, okay. Number two, which Joseph has been hitting upon also in his things. He told me, you must be calculative. Now in Uganda, they say, oh, you know, be calculative. You need to be able to, sorry about that. You must be able to be calculative all the time. When you get into a business, when you get an opportunity, you need to calculate. So the other man I've told you who is selling a bike possibly comes to you selling that bike at 200,000. You must know how much that bike costs on the open market. You must know it is an old bike possibly, or it's a new bike. And if you told him, look, no, I can only buy your bike at 100,000, you don't just say the price 100,000. You need to know that this bike is worth 200,000. So I'm being calculative and giving it a price of 100,000, so that when I buy it from him, I can sell it at 200,000 and I can make a margin of 100,000. Now, all the technicalities that Joseph has been talking about and all others are going to be talking about, how many of you actually go down and understand the mathematics of your business? Being calculative. Some of you would go to the market and you buy certain things at a certain price and sell them at a certain price, and you would be benchmarking on the prices running in the market. Before you know it, you shopped things of 50 million shillings, you've sold them at 48,000, but you have rent to pay, you have workers to pay, you have transport costs, you need to pay yourself, all these sorts of things. You're not being calculative. So in this case, you must be good at mathematics of your business. You must be able to sit down and know the costs that are within your business, every single thing to the detail, including the telephone you're going to make, including the time of this engagement you're having here with your will. If you're a business person, you need to know that if you are here, you're learning, and it is going to improve your business in a certain way. If you're here, for example, and you're not paying a lot of attention, but you have left your business to come into this workshop, you're not being very calculative. So you are going to waste your day here. You have not been in your business. You have also not learned a lot here. So you realize that you have wasted a day. You must be calculative in terms of all the resources that fit into your business. So if you think you're buying a bike at 100,000 and you're going to sell it at 100,000, don't even try that. Buy it at 100 and then sell it at 200 or 150, depending on your mathematics. Make a margin, make progress. If you can buy so many bikes in a day, that is good. And that is why the Indians in their businesses, as you are selling an item as a Ugandan at 200,000, you find in an Indian shop, they are selling the same item, same quality at 180,000 shillings, but they are selling way too many items in a day. So if you're selling 5 items and making a margin of 50,000, they sell, and you're selling 10 items, they will sell 100 items, but making a margin of only 20,000. It makes a lot of sense because they have been calculative. They have foregone some interest, but at least they will be able to have their suppliers give them a lot of stock because they have a high turnover. They sell the things much faster at an affordable cost. The people in the factories can produce items and supply people that are willing to sell them quickly and return their money. It makes a lot of sense to everyone, but it is being calculative. Are you better off earning 50,000 from every item and sell 10 items, or you're better off earning 20,000 on that item and you sell 150 items in a day? It is a game of mathematics. So be calculative in whatever business you do. Be calculative. That's the second lesson this man told me. The third lesson he told me that I had never thought about, he told me, after having money all the time, you are very calculative. What can go wrong? 1. Lesson number 3. Make quick decisions. Decision making. Most of you know what to do. You have some money to invest. You've calculated everything, but you take a long time to make a decision. Think about it. If you have a bike to buy at 100,000, someone brings a bike to sell to you at 200,000, you convince him that you can buy it 100,000, and you do not make the decision to buy that bike quickly at 100,000. When he moves to the next person the next day to sell the same bike, someone will tell him, no, your bike is actually good, I'll give you 150. But if you made the decision to pay for that bike immediately, you would be able to buy that bike at 100,000. You can even sell it to the next customer, he would sell it to at 150, you would still make 50,000 shillings. But because you're not good at making decisions quickly, you have lost an opportunity to make 100,000 from that small bike, or 2 or 50,000 shillings from that same bike. It is about decision making. Today we are in the world where ICT is moving so fast. Technology is the in thing. But some of you still think that you're going to do business the traditional way. You're still making decisions. Maybe it is going to take us a longer time before we get onto Facebook. Maybe some customers of mine are not on Facebook. Maybe they are not on WhatsApp. But every single person in this country is using mobile money. They are using a phone. Even our mothers and grandmothers, you see them on Facebook. Now, the world has moved. You're not making a decision for your business to move quickly. Before you know it, you've lost market share. He told me that indecision is the worst killer of very good business ideas. Not deciding. We do not decide. We take so much time planning. We take so much time calculating, and we don't take the decisions quickly. You want to borrow today. You want to borrow today 100 million shillings to invest in real estate, to buy a piece of land, for example. If you wanted to buy that piece of land and you say that you're going to borrow that money in January, I can tell you, you are not going to borrow to buy that land from the person selling it today. The person selling that land 100 million is going to sell it today. When you are now ready to borrow, you are going to borrow 100 million shillings. But you know what? If you go back to buy the same land, you'll find that the person that bought it 100 million shillings is now selling it 120 million. What is the difference between 100 and 120 million shillings? That is the cost of you not making a decision quickly. Yes, you've made a decision, but you've made it late, and it is going to cost you money. That is what happens every single time. Have money all the time. Be calculative in your whatever you do, and then make decisions and make them quickly. Timely decision making can be the make or break of your business. You need to master those three things. So as we are learning today about all these sorts of things, somewhere in your notes, have three things. You need to have money all the time. If you don't have the money, partner with Finance Trust Bank. Partner with Finance Trust Bank. We should be able to give you money whenever you need. Joseph and the teams are there in credit to finance you whenever you need. 2, be able to be calculative. Don't make a mistake, miscalculating, over-assuming. I am going to make this money here. Be realistic, be calculative. Take care of all the risks in the calculation. And 3, make your decisions and make them quickly. Quick is the thing. Quick, you can say timely or quick, they are the same in this case. So we want to really thank you for this thing. And with those 3 things, I think we should be able to have a wonderful business experience and engagement today. There's quite a lot going on, so I may not be with you up to the end, but I'll come in after my engagements to listen to the presentations. I want to thank you, Will, very sincerely for the partnership with Finance Trust Bank. We want to say we shall keep this partnership going. For as long as we're doing these kind of things, we know it is worth it. So we want to thank you, Will. We want to thank the teams that are going to facilitate today, my teams in head office. Please, thank you, and let's keep moving. And we want to wish you very successful deliberations today and very successful business endeavors for all our participants today. I thank you very much, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rubega, for the touching message. Now we know we have to look like money to get money. Thank you. Without wasting time, I think we can go to the other presentation by Ruth. Thank you.
My people, Ruth Nanwaf is my name. I work with Finance Trust Bank, and I'm here to present to you bookkeeping for the women entrepreneurs. Morning, once again. In this presentation, we'll handle bookkeeping in respect to how to make a budget and go by your budget, and how to make your daily cash flows. So we are starting right away. Who we are as entrepreneurs, we need to pose that question to know what it takes, what we went into as business entrepreneurs, what else to be done to rectify whatever is not going on well. All that one is entailed there. We'll handle the aim of making businesses, what we do, and how we execute our daily work in our businesses. Who we are as entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur is someone who creates a new business idea and puts it to work. What what they have in common, they have that positive self-esteem and confidence. It is not easy to come up with a decision and you take it up and you follow it through up to when it materializes and you begin making profits at the end of the day. They call it break it even. It is not easy. So you need to have that self-confidence as a woman, and you be like, I'll make it up to the end. It takes a high commitment and self-discipline to see that what you've initiated goes to the next level with all the related opening up costs, and you follow your businesses all through up to when you break even. It is not easy. So as an entrepreneur, you have to have that high commitment and self-discipline to see that you succeed. Also, entrepreneurs in common have that innovativeness, or call it creativity, or call it assertiveness. Like you are always thinking and thinking how to go to the next level, how to get there. That is what it takes. You have to be a goal or pace setter. You set your own trend and you follow it through. And lastly, an entrepreneur is a risk taker. Many businesses don't yield profits in the first year, but you have to carry on. You don't have to get discouraged as a woman. You know, women, we are strong people, so we always do it, and others have done it, then why not us? We also have to do it. That is what it takes to be an entrepreneur. We go to our next slide, and that is, what is the aim of doing a business? Before you do anything, you must have a reason and a cause as to why you are doing it. And to us, the entrepreneur, our major aim and goal is to make money, or call it making profits. But basically, we open up businesses to make money. Money is the blood of everything, and everything rotates on money. So we as entrepreneurs go in to make money. Money in the business exists in two forms. There is the physical bit of it, the cash that you have, and then the stock. And then the stock. Stock is what is held in your businesses, what you sell out on a daily basis. That is what we call stock. Then the cash, after selling, you realize that cash. That is, if you've sold on cash, others sell on credit, but the bottom line of it all is making profits. So now we go to the core of bookkeeping, understanding bookkeeping. There is nothing much to do with bookkeeping. In fact, we should even call it record keeping. Bookkeeping is just that art of recording or organizing all your business's transactions, or call them financial activities. That art of recording is what we call bookkeeping. There's nothing much, only that there are figures involved, but these are not big figures. We can handle as women, because we've already gone to the next level. We are no longer those women who used to be in the kitchen. We are now also out, and we are struggling to make it to the end. So what does it take? It means that with bookkeeping, you have to write down all the transactions, whatever happens in your businesses relating to money on a daily basis as and when they come in. Don't wait, because like if you wait, you automatically forget. So we'll basically handle the budget, cash flows of the business, because these are the ones that help us and guide us on how to make money. And afterwards, we make our profits. We go into the cash flows. These are the incomes and expenses on the other side. But that language is a bit technical. We shall say money in, money out. So it helps to know how much disposable income you are left with at the end of the day to be able to make important decisions. Like you've had the other presenters, Mr. Lubega Pase has also commented on it, that in order to make wise decisions, you have to follow your business. All ears must be on your business. And I'm here telling you the same, that you have to continue to record whatever comes in so that you are able to make the right decisions as per your businesses. So when we are writing down our money in, money out, remember to always separate the business entity from the personal entity bit of it. You as a person, you are different from the business. So those expenses that are relating to you as a person, don't write them down when recording those ones for the business. Those ones that a person can be like the airtime you use, whatnot. Please, please, please separate them from the person, from the business entity. Business expenses are the only ones that apply in our cash flow here, and the same when it comes to the budgets. So with our cash flow process, you come in the morning and you record, I've sold this and this much. I've given out on credit this and this much. I've spent on, let's say, rent this and this much. So you record all the transactions of money coming in your business. You record them. After recording them, get their total. Then you again go ahead and you record the expenses, or call them the money out. Whatever you've spent on that is relating to the business, you write it down. And after writing them down all, you sum them up. Then you subtract the expenses from the incomes, or you subtract the money out from the money ins. At the end of the day, you will be able to know that you've made some profits or you've not made the profits, depending on what you've spent on, and also depending on what has come in as per your sales in the business. My dear ladies, try to do this on a daily basis. If you find it hard, you can employ someone to do it for you, but still you have to monitor your books, you as you. Don't wait for someone to do it for you. People have lost that trustworthiness that it takes. So it is better as an entrepreneur, as one who set up the business for yourself, to always do it for yourself. You write the money in, money out, subtract, and what you get at the end of the day is what we call the profits. We can continue to budgeting. And with this, it helps you to integrate the monthly expenses into a daily budget so that the business is not constrained. How do we do it? Don't wait for the month to end and then you begin looking for money for rent and other expenses that are related to your businesses. No, That is not right. Day one writes down how much is to be involved in your rent. Let's say it is 3 million. A month has 30 days. It means that you have to apportion that 3 million and you divide it into the 30 days that are within the month. So after dividing 3 million with our 30 days, you come up with 100,000. That means that every day you have to put 100,000 aside as a contribution for rent. Please don't wait for month end. Then you go to the next expense. Let's say if you had acquired a loan, you still do the same. If your loan installment is 1 million in a month, make sure you divide the 1 million into the 30 days. You come up with a figure that is close to around 33,400. And let's round it to 34,000. You go ahead, the way we did to rent, you put the 34,000 aside on a daily basis, day 1, day 2, day 3, up to the 30th day of the month. We have other bills also that come in that are related to that business. Please do the same. If it is like 600,000, divide it into the 30 days, meaning every day you have to put 20,000 aside for the month-end expense. So if you follow that, beginning on the rent, which came up with 100,000, then the loan that came up with close to 34,000, then the bills that totaled to 20, we come up with 154,000. Before you spend on anything personal, first put that aside. Then after that savings come in. Get to know how much you want to save on a daily basis so that when the month ends, you have accumulated savings to inject further into your business. Don't wait for end of month and then you come panicking, fidgeting. I have a loan to pay. The landlord is on my neck. No, don't wait. If you do it on a daily basis, you find you are not constrained. You have at the end of the month what to save, what to pay the landlord, what to pay in for the loan installments when you are not constrained. If you do that on a daily basis, I assure you, you will be growing because you'll be having disposable income at the end of the day to inject further in the business and also to begin making up branches here and there. Before we proceed, this is how the money in and money out looks like. Every week, you write the respective days. And then you put in your inflows or the money ins, the money outs. This is week 1, this is week 2, week 3, and week 4. So at the end of the month, you just have to sum them up like this, and we continue. You make this for all the months that make up the year. This is how it is. So you'll be noting from January up to December. This helps you to have a track of your business for the whole year, and you'll be able to know whether you've made some profits or not, so that you can always be having a starting point. Having handled that, always determine your goals for the next year. So so that you can be able to spend within your means. You can be able to budget strategically in order to grow your revenue and also increase on your profitability. When you begin making big profits, that is when you are able to begin making up even other branches. And that, of course, comes with branding, so that you continue to the next level always. We go to effective pricing. What does it mean to have effective pricing? And what is effective pricing? Effective pricing is coming up with that price that is profitable to you so that you are able to sustain your business. There's what we call a markup. When you are coming up with a price at which you are going to sell your commodities, please consider your own. Consider many things before coming up with that final price that suits you. It doesn't have to be the price that the neighbor is selling his or her commodities at. No, you consider your own costs that you put in when you are transacting, and you attach all those costs to this particular item that you are going to sell out, so that you are able to know that if I sell this at this price, having factored in the other costs of the bills, how much I bought it, how much was related in the costs of taxation, what's not. So if you factor in all those costs, you are able to know how much is attached to that commodity before setting up the real price that can make you be able to attain profits after selling it. But of course, other factors in the market also come in, because you don't have to hike the prices when your neighbors are selling them at a lower rate. We have a challenge in Uganda whereby the Bayindi normally, when they are selling, they sell at low prices. But you, as you consider your own price, if you see that it is a bit high, then that's when you go to the next level of rebranding or repackaging your commodities to support the other price that is attached to your values. Don't wait for the neighbor to decide for you. If the neighbor is selling the same item at a lower price, and for you, you see that you would be able to sell it out when you've hiked the price, like you have to think ahead, like you have to rebrand, so that your commodity, after attaching it like a small value, when you rebrand it, you'll be able to sell it also and gain profits. What does rebranding take? Like you can attach a value after processing your rice, then you be like, this is Nakamanya's sorted rice. This is Nakamanya's rice with mokene. So that people can identify you by your commodities, they can identify you by your pricing, and they can even be able to know where you are located by that branding bit on your commodity, so that they can begin looking for you. That is if your selling is actually up to the standard. There is this new business that really interests me. I don't know, for those people who often listen to Kali Solis in the morning, that show that runs on CBS from 7:30. These days, there is a way they advertise for Yalelo. When you hear Yalelo, you'll be like, this is fresh. So also begin branding your commodities. That Yalelo bit that was attached to the tilapia, it has a lot of value attached to it. One, when you hear Yalelo, you just know this is fresh fish. Two, when you hear Yalelo, you come out to look for it, meaning now these people have to begin getting new branches here and there. That is the same way you are supposed to rebrand your businesses, my dears. Support your prices. Don't wait for people to begin saying that, we won't buy from that one, reason being their prices are high. No, attach a value to your price. Do something different. Always be innovative. Go to the next level. Be assertive as an entrepreneur. When you factor in all that, my dear, you'll find that you begin selling your products at good prices, which can be able to make you achieve the profits that we want to get in our businesses, and you are able to go to the next level. I'm done with the branding and effective pricing. These are now other advices to you as my beautiful mamas out there in the businesses. Always ensure that you set up a legal business. What does it take? Register it with the officials at the districts or the government. If you are registered, there is a way you will also be on the national platform. As in, people, when they are looking for what to buy in Uganda, your commodities will also be there with your company tag attached to them. Make sure you also get a TIN number. TIN number is a tax identification number for easy taxation. Remember, when you do the effective bookkeeping, you have your records. It means that when the revenue guys come in, when they are apportioning you for the tax that you are to pay, you have the supporting documents, you have your records, so they will be giving you the rightful tax that you are supposed to pay. And if you already have your TIN number, it will quicken the process of taxation. Still, how to do this? Still, please and please, my dears, always have a current account attached to your business, so that if people are buying in bulk, if you are supplying the government, you can always be having checks to issue out to your business. Take your business to the next level. Set the pace, set the trend. Don't wait. If you can also be able to have the funds that it takes, have an accounting system or a software, if you can afford it, that is, that can be able to take you to the next level, so that the accounting bit is also integrated in your system. Don't wait. Do it today, don't do it tomorrow, because tomorrow also has its other issues. You see how the economy is going. The pace we are at now is not the pace we were at the previous year. Many things have come in, many challenges have come in, and they are continuing to come in. Choose the right point of sale system. If you are okay with it, and if you have the funds, please go digital. Why not? If others are going digital, why wait? You can choose to do your adverts on your Facebook. We all have Facebook accounts. Go to your Facebook account, put whatever you are selling there. You have a full list of more than 50 people on your account following you, and begin the advertisement from there, from your Facebook page, from your Twitter page. Don't wait. Please begin today by choosing the right point of sale. Keep track of your inventory. Inventory is the stock that you have. Don't be like a madam who comes in the evening and says, how many have you sold today? What was the maker? And then you go home. No. Go down to your stock, verify your stock, count it properly. Here in banking, we have what we call spot checks in the till. Also do it in your own business. Surprise those girls that you leave in your shops. Surprise your sales team. Always keep track of your inventory. Don't wait. It is you as you, and it starts with you to do whatever is good to your business. Since it is you who put in the money in their business, it is your own capital. So don't wait for that time when you are no longer making profits, and that is when you come in now to begin verifying your stock. Have a routine. And don't let your sales girl know that you often do this inventory taking on the same day. No, keep on adjusting. If today you've done it on a Monday, next week, do it on a Friday. Do it in the middle of the week. Do it in the morning and also come back in the evening. Surprise them. Surprise them. Always have to keep track of your businesses and the costs that keep coming in, my dears. If you do that and you still see that instead of getting profits, you are getting to the other trend of making losses, then now the power of partnerships can come in. You need another person to do it for you or to stand with you in that time. Don't wait for your business to collapse. That is when we come in with supplier relationships. Build that strong relationship with your supplier so that if the business is not going on well, you are not making profits, but here you are, you have to remain in business, then go out and talk to your supplier that, you know what, my dear, this time round, things are not going as planned. Can you be able to give me things on credit and I'll give you the money after making the sales? If you are in good books of your supplier, I assure you, that person will always be willing to give you the goods on credit. And now you sell, you realize that a small margin, pay back the supplier, and the supplier gives you the other stock. Do that until when you see that it's now profitable to begin using your own capital. If that hasn't worked out well for you, that is when you can come into the bank, and we, the bankers, were always willing and able to give out loans to you guys. Joseph has been here. The credit team will always be willing to come in and help you out. What it takes, you've already done the first step of bookkeeping. You have your records, so they will be asking you for those records, and do the same. Come up with the good cash flow of your business and be able to see whether if they give you our loan, you'll be able to use it and make profits and pay back, and also your business continues. So that is not just thinking. Do it, my dears. There is also the team support. There are those team, call it group formations. And as me being the supervisor for circles here at Finance Trust, of course I will sell out that to you, the group formation, how it comes out. They call it the Vina strategy, Vina as in 400 Ugandan shillings. If you've seen that, still after getting the stock from your supplier on credit, it hasn't worked for you, still, even after getting loans from the bank, still it hasn't worked out for you. The pace is just there, you are not picking. Then we have those nigginers of ours. We have our groups. How to make the groups? Here is just a simple strategy for you, my dear ladies. I will do something that is so simple to internalize in your minds. This is the simple math that it takes. I'll go down to the lowest value of Uganda as of now. The lowest, where we begin from, is like a 1K, Lukumi Ugandan shillings. Out of the 1K, if you are there out as women, and let's say out of the 1,000, for every 1,000, you are able to spend 600 shillings out of it, you have a balance of 400 Ugandan shillings. And that is where our group methodology comes from. So if you get your 400 shillings in a day as an individual, and you save it for 7 days, still you as an individual, it comes to 2,800 Ugandan shillings. 400 shillings Bina, times 7 days in a week, you get 2,800 shillings, you as an individual. So after getting that 2,800 in Ghanaian shillings, make it for the 4 weeks that make up the month. It comes to 11,200 in Ghanaian shillings. When we are making these groups, most of them range from 30 to 50 members. So let's consider the minimum number, which is 30. In every community, starting from your own homes, there is that one person that is so unruly. So when it comes to the group formations also, be expecting to get that one person who will be unruly. And so instead of considering one, since we are many as a group, let's consider 2 people that won't be able to do the right savings every month. These people will keep on disturbing us. So it comes to 28. We are going to consider the number of 28 while forming our group. Each individual in the month, if you are able to save the 11,200 shillings that you've talked about above, times the 28 members in a group, when you multiply that 11,200 times the 28 members that you've considered in the group, it comes to 313,600 shillings, Ugandan shillings. That is what you are able to contribute as 28 members in one solid month. Now the group methodology, it works after 2 years, meaning you first save minus getting out money. So if you are able to save the 28 members each month contributing 313,000 for a whole year, that is 12 months, it comes to close to 3.7. That is the savings that you accumulate in 1 year. Remember, I've told you our group formation works after 2 years, 2 solid years. So it means that the 3.7 that you've accumulated in 1 year times 2, when it comes to 7.5 million, that is good money to start with. You can begin your savings from there as women. So like after accumulating this 7M, and when your group is attached to Finance Trust Bank, in case all the others haven't worked out for you, as a member in that group, you can be able to get that money from your group. They can be able to lend it to you, or they can use the same money which is attached to us in Finance Trust Bank here, and we give you a bigger loan for the whole circle, and you develop yourselves from that loan by getting money individually. But when you are attached to that circle that is registered and is with Finance Trust Bank, make sure, my ladies, you don't lose out. It is just a simple methodology. Me, I've only considered 400 Ugandan shillings, only 400. But this doesn't even take much of you. You have a whole lot of disposable income to spend, to do what? After getting the 400 and you inject it in one group. That is all to do with the group formations. And that is all to do with the savings bits of it and bookkeeping. Thank you, my dear ladies. Be blessed.
Thank you, Ruth. It's been very, very detailed. I think now we know what to do, how to record our incomes and outcomes. But I think there are questions online. Ladies, if you have questions, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello. I have a question. When you were talking about increasing the price of the product, and you recommended that you need to rebrand your commodity.
Yes, dear.
Before you have to do something different in order to increase price.
Yes.
But I am in a service industry.
You are in what?
In a service industry. I'm in a service industry. I'm a lawyer in legal practice.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, besides having a website and talking about my services to different people, what am I supposed to do? Because I am not selling a product, I'm selling a service. In order to increase the price of my service, what other suggestions would you give me?
Thank you, my dear. So as a lawyer, remember many things are happening out in the world unnoticed. You can go ahead and you include on your Facebook account or page how you can be able to help out a woman. Remember that woman is there. She has many challenges that she's facing, but she can't think. Like you help out and you be elaborative on your page. You show them that, for example, someone has been in marriage for 2 years. And after these 2 years, she hasn't been able to be wedded in church. Then a crisis comes in, the husband dies. Remember, when it comes to sharing the properties, when you are not the legal wife, it means that like all the others, you know those percentages by the words lawyers, like all the others, you are like subjected to, is it 15% or so? So you as you now come in and help those people by elaborating and clearly showing them those packages, how you can be able to help them. I've cited that as an example. Then you also go other to like those ones who want to say to register their businesses, but they don't know how to do it. As a lawyer, you know what it takes, you know where to reach out and help those people. Still make that package. Go on making out the different packages that people don't know but would wish to know how to go about them. You just have to be innovative and assertive. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you very much, Ruth. This is Maggie. I wish I could add a few notes to that. Rebranding, is that Mrs. Basemera who asked? It is about what more can you do? It's about value propositions. It is about creating a different perception about what you can do to the market, to the people out there that you're serving. As part of your offering, you could take on advisory services like Ruth is proposing. As part of your offering, you do more than just giving legal, but you also give advisory services on things that you know. On your Facebook page, you can become a go-to person to solve, issues with the advisory service. People, you get people used to getting tips from you on a daily basis. And before you know it, you have people gravitating towards you. You could also decide to do things faster. You give your clients a faster service, quick turnaround time on things. If maybe a company search, usually people take 4 days, you can work your way around making it 3 days. And that sets you apart from the other service providers. So it's about being able to push a little more, to give a little more, and people getting to appreciate that about you. That is rebranding, and they will gravitate towards you. I hope that is clearer.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you. It's very clear. Thank you for the suggestions.
You're welcome.
Simon, do we still have any other questions? Do you have questions in the house over there in Lugogo?
Any questions?
Yeah. Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm looking at this sheet that we have before us, weekly savings schedule. And it has, of course, items maybe that you have sold on a Monday, Tuesday, and the prices. But then we know that sometimes there are customers that will come and negotiate and you reduce the price for them. So I'm wondering how that actually is taken care of in this kind of sheet when today the same item maybe you might reduce 500, you might reduce by 1,000, depending on how the other customer has negotiated. So I'm wondering how all this now gets into this sheet here, when you might sell at different prices, that same item. So what that means for me is that there might be other source document, maybe where you document your sales. The same item yesterday, you sold to one person at 12,000. The next day, you might sell at 15,000, that same item. Maybe then you need to tabulate that then and put into this. I'm just wondering how, because somehow it seems to be confusing for me. It presupposes that the prices will be fixed for all the items you are selling.
Thank you, my dear. What you do, you don't have to record every transaction on this. You can be having a separate sheet, and on that sheet is where you record all those different prices as they keep coming in, how much you've sold this, the other one. It only takes the totals from that come in into this sheet of ours. You only take the totals.
Is it answered?
It's answered. So that means this is just a summary. You need to have some other way.
Just a summary, but you have your other sheets for all those other transactions. This one helps you to keep track on all those activities, just all consolidated under one sheet for easy tracking and good record keeping.
All right, thank you. Any other questions online?
Yes, thank you very much. Once again, I'm looking at this and trying to see how life can be made easier by maybe, I don't know, I'm not an accountant, I'm not good with Excel things, but I'm like, suppose there was a small sheet somewhere, maybe on your computer, where certain information is entered and it gives you the totals and everything without you having to go into the calculations of, so that when you know that every day this is what has been done, you will find some of that information into that system.
That would be very good as well. That is if you are well conversant with the Excel bit of it. It is the best, by the way. This is the manual bit of it, but if you are in Excel, they call them worksheets. So you get your worksheet for Excel and you say, worksheet 1 is for week 1. Worksheet 2 is for week 2, week 3, week 4. So there is a way you compute your formulas from these different worksheets for the different weeks, and you put them under, we call it the control sheet, the very first sheet. So you come to the control sheet and you say, my sales, and you put in the formula, sales equals, you go to worksheet 1, the total equals that, put a plus, then you go to the worksheet for the second week, put a plus, Then you go to the worksheet for the third week, still under the total, put a plus. Then you go to the fourth one, put a plus. You tab your enter key, and you have your total for the whole month under your control sheet. But some of these needs a hands-on session, and we do them together. If you are okay with it, I can give you my numbers. Those who are following, you can always call me one-on-one, and we integrate this. My number is 0752 836 917. Ruth is my name. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, but you could repeat that number again.
The number is 0752 836 917. Ruth.
Thank you very much. Would like to request a member in attendance to at least move the vote of thanks to Trust Finance. Anyone, please?
Yes. Thank you so much, Trust Finance Bank, for the time you have put in and the resources to bring to us this very important training. We thank you, Will, and we believe this will take us to better heights in our businesses. And we still believe that we shall continue this relationship, and you help us with the finances that we may need. Thank you very much.
Members present, we have an evaluation at the end of the paper that is in front of you. So you have to give us some feedback about the training. And members online, you could also give us a feedback on the chat because this is recorded so that we can know how best to serve you next time. Thank you. Maggie, I think now over to you. Us on this side, we are now evaluating and internalizing what we have learned. So you can take on the stage.
All right, thank you so much, ladies, for attending. Thank you so much for the participation, the questions, and we look forward to more of this. We are available. We have branches all over. We have a toll-free line that you can call in case you don't remember our other contact numbers. It's 0800 220 500. You can call us on that number through our call center, and you'll get the information that you're looking for. In case you're looking for somebody in particular, in case you're looking for a branch nearest to you, an agent, information on a particular loan product or account that you'd like to open. When we'll be able to do these sessions again, we'll be letting you know through the call center, through the emails that you have shared, and your telephone numbers. We are glad that we're able to be of help to you. Please continue to use our platforms. Our Facebook page, Finance Trust Bank Facebook page, is very alive and kicking. We are available to also interact with you on that platform. Please feel free, and we are always able to give you something that will push you ahead. The session, we've only been able to do this session at this time because we had the business interruptions. As you all knew what happened with the COVID. We would have done this earlier, maybe several of them, but we were not able to. I want to thank you, Will, Simon, and the team there. Thank you so much for entrusting us with the members to give them some of our knowledge. And we hope we can do this at least once every quarter. We could come up with topics. As part of the feedback, we would actually want to know, what would you like to know about such discussions from the bank? How would you like us to help you with your business financially, building capacity in terms of business leadership? We can do that as well. As I mentioned to Mrs. Basimira earlier, we are more than a bank. We are trying to be as relevant as possible in this time. We are working under very, very peculiar circumstances where we don't know what's coming next. It's very uncertain. It's volatile. It's ambiguous. We call it VUCA, a VUCA environment. But through that, we are trying to be close to our customers, and also through those customers, they will tell others about what we do. And that's how we are trying to stay relevant in this time. We want to enroll you as our ambassadors, as our partners in business, that you'll help us to grow by reaching out to other people as well. If you have come alone in this webinar, next time, interest somebody else, because you have seen what we do and what we can do next time we have this interaction. Without wasting so much of your time, people want to go for tea. It's a cold morning. I know the people in Lugogo are going for tea. I'd like to thank you so much on behalf of Finance Trust Bank. And we pray that you stay safe during this time, so that we are all alive to see the next big thing in our lives, in our businesses. Please stay safe, and God bless you. We are here for you because we put women first. Thank you very much, Simon.